Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 18. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here and welcome back to this week's news report. We have managed to get to week 18 of 2024. We are now in the month of May. Things are really shaping up, things are happening. Definitely this week here has been both up and downs. When we are looking back at our trading results, some of the platforms, some we have new information, some we have no information, but we're going to have a focus especially again on our trading, because one of the things that we talked about in last week's news report in here was actually that we had some heavy drawdowns, and we have also managed to see what came out of it, because some of the Pamm accounts came under pressure. They actually ran into trouble. Heavy drawdowns of somewhere around 60-70% in here, and then all this played out also this particular week. We're going to talk about that. Also, it did have a bit of an effect on our Pamm accounts, even though we didn't lose any money. Nothing got blown here with us. So if you are invested with High-Tech Investment, don't worry, but we will try and explain to you exactly what you are looking at the graphs in here today. Now, obviously, sometimes even bad things happen here to us, but we are trying to get the best out of it. And also here with Expert Forex and Alex, something new is actually coming out of last week's issues and also this week's issues regarding losses, regarding new options, how to trade the Liberty version and the Profit Retriever. And that is a pruning. Exactly what that is, Alex is trying to explain to us in this video, and we're going to have a look also just at that a bit later in the program. So make sure that you get topped up on your favorite beverage in here, because this news report unfortunately is a bit longer. I do apologize for that, but we have so many things that we want to share with you this week. And obviously, yes, we are trying our best. So let's start. And this time around, we actually have a bit of news regarding yield nodes and the yield nodes community. Steve have managed to send out a news report on email again here saying, you know, after a long time of working behind the scenes here, they have now fixed the NFTs. They have been successfully minted, and they are now available also for the viewing. There's a link in there. So if you received an email, you can go and have a closer look at it. And also the NFTs will be sent out to the respective owners over the course of the next weeks. Don't forget, some people actually lost them. Everything has been now updated again, but there's about 8,000 owners involved. So obviously this might take a bit of time. So just be patient. And if you don't see anything in the next week or so, I suggest you contact Yield Node support just to see if what is happening and if they forgot you. And also, Yield Node is introducing now the NFT marketplace. So they're basically trying to put things back into shape again. They are using the BIREC, obviously the marketplace in here. And again, they are explaining a bit on what is actually happening. If you have the link in here, otherwise you can simply look it up online. And you click that particular link here, then you will get to this page where again it says welcome to the BIREC NFT Hub. And in here, you can then go through the browsing parts. So we'll tell you a bit about the launch, the NFT collections, and also the marketplace data, the NFT interaction, and also trading on the NFT part. And there's also a bit of a vision on the future, telling you what is to come and how they roll out the entire platform itself. So obviously, nice to see that finally there's a bit of news coming out with yield nodes. There's also a bit of news for the regular yield node users, for those who didn't request the NFTs back then. Remember, you didn't have to do that at the end of the year. We did. We put it in our own digital wallet, and we still have it there for safekeeping. But obviously, again, here they want to set everything up, and the ones that didn't claim it back then, they have to wait until the Yield Nodes Pro is coming back online, and then we'll have to see what happens. They also mentioned the interview regarding the status quo, as it says here, an extensive interview in German, and we also mentioned that quite a few weeks ago in the news report, where you can find that at the time. And it looks something like this, where again he explained it, not in particular details when it comes to deadlines and dates, but obviously what they have been doing behind the scenes, a lot of work in there. We certainly hope that all of this is up to par and is actually going in the right direction, so that we can see some major improvements from yield nodes in 2024, at least for end of second quarter or beginning of the third quarter. If this had anything to do with the SAP coin development, well, pretty much nothing, because as you can see, the red circle in here was where we were last week. Since then, it has been trading, but pretty much sideways all the way, and then ended up in the same spot here after another week. Again, there's not really much flow in the coins here at the moment, and I don't expect there will be until all the Decenomy and the Yield Nodes Pro program will be up and running again, as I mentioned quite a few times. However, we have some good news when it comes to staking, and as I said to many of the people that I meet, instead of just sitting around with the coins, put them in. Before we had them in iHost MN. Obviously, they are not around here anymore for some reason, but we are definitely still doing the staking. And as you can see, despite it being a bit unstable, last week we didn't get anything. This week, all of a sudden, within 2 days, we get 2 times 280 SAP. So that already means that for May, we are up on the same level as what we had in February, March, and April, which is nice. So let's keep going. Let's see where we're gonna end up. So obviously with 560 SAP in here, we got about 2.5% for the week. And we would love to have that every single week. But as you can see on the dates down here, things are very much erratic all the time. But the good part is that also the PNY came in. So we had 2 payments again here in 27th of April and 30th of April, which is obviously nice. And that all of a sudden took us all the way up to about 900 PNY. And as you can see here, we also made the 266 PNY, which gave us 1.4% for the week. So definitely good news for our Decenomy coins that are still up and running and producing some slight profits, which is certainly better than just having them in the wallet doing nothing. Now, Bitcoin versus USDT, well, it always does something, and there's definitely ups and downs. But since we left it last week, pretty much sideways trading for the first couple of days over the weekend, ended up on the high for the week of 64,639, and then just to take a sharp dip right after that down to 56,552, and then back up again. And as you can see, as we are shooting the video here, things are happening, things are moving. So we are currently on Saturday here with 64,051 as the price Bitcoin versus USDT. So good development for the guys that has Bitcoin in their wallets. We also have to look at the Trillant part, even though they don't really have much news. And that's the only thing that they actually come out with here. No new information to share regarding the compliance audit. So this takes a really, really long time. We have discussed it a few times before, trying to tell you exactly what is happening. But at the end of the day, all we can do is wait, hope for things to improve. And in the meantime, we're going to look at coinstore.com, where we have the 3 coin. And again, red circle over here is where we left it last time. So it was at point and then 0001343. And the good news is that things actually started to happen last week here. So a bit of a volatile part, even though the sales was actually quite low. But again, it ended up pretty much in the same place as we were before, slightly up. So to 0001557, which is obviously nice. Yeah, getting higher and higher is obviously nice after many, many weeks of things sliding down. But this is definitely not enough what we are looking for if we're going to get back to the good old days. Good old days we also had with the money tree, and the money tree is actually producing some nice money overall, even though it's quite small for week 18, the low risk one. And don't forget that the low risk one in here is actually the one with all the different currency pairs. I believe we had about 16 or 18 in here, if I remember correct. We only made $97 and 1.8%, but still not too bad for the low risk one. The medium risk in here made $35 or 0.7%, so a bit disappointing. And the high risk one didn't really disappoint, $90 or 2.3%, and that is definitely what we like to see. and it's also the end of the month. So we're going to have a look at April, and you can see here again that there has been a bit of a limit. So this is not a margin call, this is simply just our setup for the EA, where we're basically closing trades if they're getting out of hand, and they got out of hand on the low risk one, again because it's involved in all the different currency pairs that it can trade, and that's also why this is the original setup, which we didn't like too much. So this time around that account lost $2,861 or 34.1%. The medium risk and high risk is the ones where we have been trading somewhere between 8 and 10 different currency pairs. Then we have swapped some of them around, and you can see that that obviously works a lot better. So the medium account, which is the strongest one at the moment, $474 or 9.5%, and then the high risk one did even better with $498 or 14.0%. So obviously after the dip in the past, the high risk one is actually doing quite well, and we have gotten it stabilized with a reasonable lot size. As we mentioned, the best one is still the medium one, and in the beginning we used too high, too aggressive lot sizing. After 2 bumps out, we basically decided to stay again and not start all the trades. We wanted to learn from this and also show what can actually happen, so you have not lost all your money. We have come back again, and we have now surpassed also where we used to be. Obviously this is a long time ago, but it is possible, and that's what we want to show you on this graph. Have a look at the history, 372 days. We have now been trading this one here for more than a year. Total return is obviously a bit disappointing because we lost money twice, but 26.5% is still way beyond if you would have gone in with the SP 500. That one you normally get somewhere around 7-8% a year. So monthly return 1.9 on this particular one is definitely also approved. And let's see if we can make a lot more money for the next year. We also have the profit retriever, and that has ticked in very, very nicely this week, even though it was a difficult market to trade in. The profit retriever did it. The top 5 EAs here has silver on top with $1,151 or 11.5%. Really, really strong number from the silver again. We have the index US 30 number 2 signal here with $853 or 8.5%. Then we have the Euro Japanese $483 or 4.8%. US CAD 346 and 3.5%. And the last one of the top 5 is the Great British Pounds USD number 2, $249 or 2.5%, all done in a week. If you would have traded those 5 signals here in the past week, you would have made $3,081 or 6.2%. And that shows that even though we have many new robots, the profit retriever is still very much in the battle. If we also have a look at the monthly part, you'll see again here the US 30 number 2 is actually on top of 691 and 16.9%, and that is for April. You'll see also that all the one from the silver was actually made so in May. So, and because the week is actually split in between April and May, that's why you don't find it here, but further down the list. Great British Pounds Aussie $673 or 6.7%. You have another US CAD followed here, $666 or 6.7%. Euro USD $665 or 6.7%. And then the silver one, because it's split in between April and May that particular week, as you saw here before. So for April, it made $627 of the dollars or 6.3%. And overall, if you would have stayed with those 5 in the month of April, you would have made $4,323 or 8.6%. And that is definitely a very, very good results. Now, if we have a look also at the portfolio again, and don't forget, we are always trading these EAs as it's $10,000. We don't change the lot sizing, so that's why the monthly returns and the weekly returns continues to go down as the accounts are growing. But history is now 778 days, and that's actually more than 2 years in here. And you can see all the profits on the individual weeks when you trade this in a portfolio. And this particular week we made $3,998 and 46 cents. So definitely it is not a bad way of basically saying goodbye to the profit retriever, because we will be phasing this particular one out. We will just have a look at the monthly ones also, see how well it's done for the month of April, 8,340. And already here in May, we now have made 2,558. So let me just tell you a bit about it again. We have had the profit retriever for more than 2 years of trading now. We are now looking forward to the Wave and the RSI Liberator. We are looking forward to the HCA, and we will simply just say that we can now fully approve after 2 years of trading with the profit retriever. We are happy with this one, but we are moving on. So that means that we will close down all the trades, but we will obviously leave our website open, and that's also why we'll give the approval stamp. This has really worked. A lot of people have made money on that particular EA, and that is so great to see. So in the next month, we will slowly but surely turn down the profit retriever. We will close all the trades to make room for all the new stuff and our Pamm accounts also. You will still be able to find the copy link trading also for the profit retriever and all the other ones that we have in here. But as we said, we will turn them off on the profit retriever, but not on the trade explorer. And obviously there's a reason for that. First of all, it's not so old. Second of all, you can see it's making good money here also. 22 pair, $114 or 1.1%. It is low for the trade explorer for the week, but still it is cashing in every single week. 10 pair one made $230 or 2.3%. Also here it is a bit below what we was hoping or expecting, but it is still cashing in, and that's what it's all about. Also here we have to have a look for the month of April. The 22 pair currencies up here, $757 or 7.6%. So that is a bit below where we would like to be, but the 22 pair is cashing in nice and slowly. You can obviously change the lot sizing if you are not happy with where you are, but we are quite happy with that part. 10 pair one is right on the money, $1,612 or 16.1%. And again, this was traded originally on a $10,000 account, but both of the accounts here have now definitely developed in a very good direction. We are back to the 22 pair here, 1.6% return and 6.8 as I showed you before. Look at the trading history. Also this one here is coming up to 1 year, 354 days. We're having a look at the monthly ones this time around. And we saw that January, February and March was actually quite slow. You can see only $500 on average. And then in April here, we're actually up with 757. We would like to get back to the thousands that we had last year a couple of times. You can see September and November and also here in December. These are all the currency pairs that are being traded, and if you want to trade it, you can go to the Expert Forex coupling service. This is link 145C, and that is definitely one of the pairs that I would suggest that you have a closer look at. The 10 pair one is the better one. It's actually the one that does even better, so monthly returns of 9.2%. Also here, same history, 354 days. And you can see the monthly profits here. We are in the thousands almost every single time. February was a bit on the low side. March was better. And now we're up in April with 1,612. So great news. And that particular link here on the Expert Forex forum is link 146C. So obviously both of them are available if you should like to try them out before you might even try the EA. Now obviously we have the new Wave Liberator. New. Well, we've basically been testing this one now for about 9 months. And you can see why we like this one so much. The top 5 EAs. Again, they are trading originally on a $10,000 account, but they can actually be traded on $1,000 accounts. And that is also why we have changed the numbers in here. So as if we were trading on $1,000 accounts. So Aussie Japanese. This week around, the Japanese was the one trending a lot, and still you can see the Wave Liberator cashes in quite nicely, $93 or 9.3% overall, so very good. New Zealand Japanese, $72, 7.2%. EuroCAD, $51, 5.1%, and then Great British Pounds USD, $49 or 4.9%. And also here the third Japanese pair, Great British Pounds, $49 or 4.9%. Total and overall, $314 or 6.3% if you were to trade it, those top fives. And again, you have to compare this to if you are trading 5 $1,000 accounts, you would have made $314 here with the 6.3%. So I hope that is clear. Now, if we have a look at the entire month of April, then it looks even better. Swiss francs Japanese is again up here, $217 at 21.7%. So now we are talking about a monthly profit that is really good. Aussie USD, $193 or 19.3%. New Zealand Japanese, so the second Japanese currency in here, $193 also or 19.3%. Euro USD also did well with $184 or 18.4%. And then Great British Pounds USD, $168 or 16.8%. So overall, again, if you were to trade it, those 5 currencies on a portfolio of 5 times $1,000, so basically a 5,000 account, then it's $955 or 19.1% overall in profits. So definitely very, very good numbers. That's why we like it so much. And if you have a look at the entire portfolio, so this is also doing well. We have now 20 EAs. The reason why we have set this up on $10,000 accounts is obviously for the ease of doing this with demo accounts and then showing exactly how you can do this with the FTMO and proprietary trading. So the total return obviously is 11%. It's a bit low, but what you have to do here is instead of considering this as a 200,000, you can basically put it down as a normal trading, and you can then do it on a $20,000 account. You will get 14% monthly profits, 3% weekly returns instead. And look at the history, 258 days, and you get this very, very smooth curve all the way through. And obviously how you do this, because we have seen now in Expert Forex Forum, many other people are asking us, okay, how can we do this? How can we copy the signals? Basically, the entire portfolio you just saw on the graph here before contains all of these different currency pairs. We are trading them at the same time, so all these currencies on one account. And then you can imagine here that if you put Aussie Swiss francs on with $1,000 and you pick another 4 or 5, then you can set an account up with $4,000 and trade those 4 up here. And if you have 10,000, you might be able to do the first 10 in here. It all depends on your risk strategy at the end of the day. So how much you want to try and make and how much you want to risk at the end of the day. Now also that particular portfolio here, and again, we are not changing the lot sizing because it's on the copy link service. So you will see the monthly returns 1.4%. And as I said, if you actually want to trade this, not on proprietary or FTMO, you can actually get similar results as we get on our Pamm with the 14-15%, 3% returns. History is the same, and then we can have a look and see the net profits. And this particular month, it's the best month overall since we started back in August, $2,634. It's done extremely well and with very, very low drawdown overall. Also the RSI Liberator, so we also started to run with that, and the numbers are looking even better for that one for this week. So the top 5 EAs, again, we have some Japanese currencies in here. On the top, New Zealand Japanese, $112 or 11.2%. We have Great British Pounds USD at $93 or 9.3%. US Japanese, $61 or 6.1%. And then the US Swiss francs, $59 or 5.9%. And then Aussie Swiss francs, $54 or 5.4%. And then again, if you would have traded those 5 currencies, so for the past week on 5 $1,000 accounts, you would have made $380 or 7.6%. So definitely very, very strong numbers, and the numbers are getting even stronger when you look for the entire month of April here. So Euro, Great British Pounds, $190 or 19%, so really nice. So to get that kind of percentage in per month. Aussie USD, $161 or 16.1%. Great British Pounds USD, $144 or 14.4%. Aussie Swiss francs, $133 or 13.3%. And then another New Zealand here. So there's only one New Zealand Japanese, $117 or 11.7%. So obviously the other Japanese currencies made it up in the individual weeks, but not so much for the month of April. Anyway, if you take those top 5 accounts that we have in here, you would have traded them for the month of April, you would have made $745 or 14.9%. So all you have to do is look out for these ones because they are coming on the copy link service here very, very shortly. And you will also be able to go and have a look at the portfolio. Now the portfolio here consists of 16 EAs, not 20 like we have on the Wave Liberator. More will come, but right now this is the level, and we have also set up in the same way with $10,000 accounts, and so that you can trade them on the FTMO or proprietary trading. But if you're not interested in that, you can actually 10 times the numbers that you have in here. So again, monthly returns instead of 1.4, you will actually get 14, so similar to what you have on the Wave Liberator. Weekly returns instead of 0.3, you will also get 3%. Trade wins 66%. It's actually a bit low at the moment, so let's see if this doesn't come up. And the history is 27 days for this portfolio, so still very young one. And over here you can see all the individual currency pairs, but you can also start to see that the line is getting stretched out. It's getting extremely stable, and that's what you get for when you are trading in portfolio. Again, on the high-tech investment website here, you'll see all the different currency pairs. You can click on the individual ones and get all the FX Blue links in here. And then these are the 4 ones that we haven't introduced yet down here. So they will come, but they are not particularly ready right now. But let's have a closer look again at the same numbers in here and see what the 27 days history actually takes in on the weekly basis. This is the best week that we had so far, $687.73. You can see it started off with 300 and 400 for 60, and now it's even higher. And when we have a look at how they went for April, we started off with $1,549. And now for the month of May, we're already up by 394, which is good because we only had a few trading days so far in May. Now, all of these details and information, EA, you find more on the high-tech investment website here. You find the Wave Liberator, you found the RSI Liberator, and all of these now also lead basically to our Pamm account. So if you click on that particular one here, you will find more details on the Pamm account, showing again the Wave Liberator results and videos, and also here with the RSI. They work similar ways, so with the profit retrieval part, but they have different types of entries, so that is important to know. And then you can click start here. Exactly, that will take you to the Black Bull market where you will start, and you will also see that the Pamm service here was running. Started off with the Wave Liberator on the 4th of March. Since then, a lot of things has happened. And if you need further details, you will also see that the download setup instruction for the Pamm account, you can download the instructions there to help you get started. Now on the website, we also have FX Blue, sort of just in short format. And you'll see in here that the Wave Liberator that we have up here, it was actually at more than 300,000. Now the balance has actually dropped to below, and this is because that one or more of the investors has actually pulled some of the money out. They did that over the weekend, and that obviously created just a bit of an issue again with the margin to make sure that that was there. We didn't really have a problem. So this is actually not a loss, and that's also why we write up here on our website that please note a major investor withdrew money from the account on the 29th of April, which is why the account took a sharp drop. There's no signs of loss on the accounts. They are still very much profitable, and we'll show you exactly how that is. Unfortunately, that is the way FX Blue again is introducing this. You'll also see on the RSI over here, things were going quite well, but then when the investors are taking the money out, also the money that we actually made up here disappears again, and then all of a sudden it looks like it's now below where we started off, because the balance on the weekend was around 30-something thousand. It dropped all the way down to 18. There was no chance that any of these accounts had a margin call, so they are very, very strong, and you'll see that also on the profits overall. And I'll try and show you here with the Wave Liberator. So this is last week numbers. This is what we showed you. And one of the things that stands out is obviously the weekly returns at the time, 2.5%. Monthly return is at 11%. It was actually climbing up. History was close to the 60 days, even though I think we had 4 or 5 days where we didn't trade in the beginning. Then you have the weekly results, and the weekly results was a bit low, 6,500 on that particular week here. But look at the overall net profit, 28,423. So these were really good numbers, and we were looking at somewhere around 35,000 for that particular month. And obviously some of these things have now changed slightly. You can see that now that dropped down to 5,600, but that doesn't mean that our investors lost any money. This is simply the investors that took the money out that has lost this amount. So there is nothing lost for all the other investors. We have actually reached out to a few, and some have reached out to us to see what it means. And we explained it similar to what we have done here, that these losses only indicates the investors taken out. And obviously FX Blue looks a bit strange, like something particular happened. You can also see for the week in here, 16,000, we were down. And you can see that day that the money was taken out, we had a loss of minus 24,000. Obviously, we made a bit of profit on that particular day also, so the loss might have been around 26,000 at the time, and then we made something up. And you can see the rest of the week we are still going strong, both before and after. Almost 1,500, and then 2,000, 2,800, and then 1,600 here on Friday. So the account is growing, and all the investors are happy, and that is obviously the most important thing. If we also have a look at the RSI, that is a similar one. So again, monthly returns, look how strong, 21% overall, 10 days obviously only, and the individual days we had here, profit every single day. It was varying quite a lot. You can see 655, then all of a sudden on the Monday, $28, and then again jumped up 304, and then it was low. And obviously this was last week's Friday result, $81, so not the best one overall. But obviously now this is the new week where it now looks like we have lost money, but we haven't. The only ones that have lost money is actually people taking money out while the account was in drawdown, so not the smartest move maybe, but it is as always up to the investors themselves. Overall, it looked like the account took a hit of $4,812, which again, it didn't. That is the hit for the investors that took the money out. And you can see that the account is doing quite well. Also hereafter, 151 this week, 73, 198, 200. So even though the market has been a bit strange here lately, and the Japanese has definitely been on the move trying to make life difficult for a lot of traders, then everything is actually working out quite nicely for us. So I hope you can basically feel safe with that explanation. Now we're obviously looking at further things for our Pamm and Pamm accounts. So we actually sent out a questionnaire this week on our YouTube channel here also, and 23 actually came back to us. We asked the question here, what EA should the next Pamm account be based on? What EAs exactly? We can see down here the money tree. Nobody actually likes the money tree too much. Maybe it's because it's too unstable. Definitely the medium account seems to work, but I do understand that this might not be the best one to put on. So the next one was the profit retriever, but not too many is into that one. It also requires a lot more money than what we have now with the RSI and the Wave Liberator accounts. And then there is the major parts, so the Trade Explorer and the HDA. HDA is part of the Liberty version, and that most probably also will be the next one. We have been trading that one for quite a long time behind the scenes, and we might obviously introduce that one. The good part is that the Trade Explorer, we might also add that one to the mix at one point. Again, because this is set and forget pretty much, as I've shown you for many, many weeks. It simply clicks over quite nicely, and the drawdown on that one is actually also extremely low. So those two is still most probably to come. Now, if we have a look also of the development, then this is actually the chart we showed you last week of all the different Pamm accounts. We can see Expert Forex, they actually flooded that whole area, so with the different links in here. So some are portfolios, some are individual links. We only have 2 because we are running portfolios. So this is our way of doing it, where we have safety in numbers, and slow and steady builds basically the profit at the end of the day. And you also have equity in here. But at the time we also highlighted that some of them were in trouble. Here we had the Edge portfolio plus 30, has a drawdown of 71%, massively high. We can also see the equity also had a massive high, 71. Both of these accounts came into trouble and lost money. And also up here we heard from forum members that also some people in link 8 and 9, I believe, both also saw that they lost a bit of money overall, so which is obviously very, very unfortunate. Other accounts are pretty okay. These were our accounts, so they were in a drawdown, but definitely there was still plenty of room to spare. Now this is the new one and what it looks like. So at the moment, Expert Forex have closed down all their accounts, and we can definitely see that a lot of money has gone for now. Most probably, well, some of the money on the Expert Forex accounts, they are still there, but they have been taken off this particular summary sheet. So now it's divided in between equity here, the same 2 ones they have, even though they had a bit of a loss. So this one, I believe, was around 100,000. So, and since then you can see that it's trading again. Ours, well, both of ours is actually trading. They are also in green. Things are happening. And if we have a look, you can see the money managers down here, 28% at the moment to equity, and high tech investment has 72. So basically the rest, with a cap of 258, and that has gone up since we did that. So most probably around 260 today. So, but obviously it's just a rough estimate here. This one is not being updated all the time. Things are looking good, things are looking great. So what exactly happened to Expert Forex? Well, it's the new Alco Trader that is down here. And one of the things that Alex put out, he says, MAM opportunities, Expert Forex has closed all the trades and the MAM accounts. And the reason for that is to facilitate a transfer of accounts. And he has a newsletter in here showing exactly what is going to happen. And then also they will protect the accounts against announcement trends this week. And then they were going to introduce the new pruning function that I discussed with you earlier on, in order to also dramatically reduce trending exposure, something similar to what we saw here actually with the Japanese yen in the past couple of weeks. And the second part also here, he says below are the trading details. Above the MAM account opportunities, there are 2 money managers who offer the MAM and Pamm services in here. The experienced money manager in Dubai using the equity broker and Blackpool, and also here the high-tech investment using the Blackpool broker. And then obviously Expert Forex have closed all the MAM accounts. So again, things will start to happen, I guess, once Alex is ready and the new trader is taking over. And that is also part of the reason here that Alex has made this particular video here is a new pruning function for the profit retrieval type. So that means the profit retriever, it means the Wave Liberator, and it also means the RSI Liberator and the HDA. If they all coming online at the same time, I'm not exactly sure about, but again, Alex explains a bit about the pruning in this particular video here. So if you're interested in that, you can click the link in the video below. We will make sure that you have it there so you can have a closer read at it. And also second part here, there's a new tool. Again, this has also sprung from the drawdown. We'll tell you again the gap sizing, the lot sizing, the multipliers and the leverage. You can put all that in there to see how risky your strategies are. So definitely very good things have come out of this. Obviously it's not very good that investors has lost money, but obviously we are just happy that high-tech investment has managed to get through this particular week here also, only with profits. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up, a like, and also any comments that you might want to add. We hope that we covered most of the details in here. We are trying to make it as short as possible. And then hopefully I will see you next week again to another update. So until then, bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like, And add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.